Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel out there in Painter's Land. Today I've been working on this flower arrangement with the words Hello July. And I thought I would, kind of grab you guys, fix my camera, grab you guys and we can do some together. So I've got this much accomplished. Hopefully, my fan is not too loud. I will try to talk a little louder, but I'll mostly just paint anyways. So this is watercolor. Every once in a while I do use some acrylic, like the white, sometimes the yellow. Just depends, kind of depends on what I'm doing. And I do have whites, white, yellow. These are acrylic, and I also have a Indian yellow. And somewhere around here I have a violet, but I seem to have misplaced the violet, and I definitely don't have a voice today, so I'm not going to be doing much talking. So we'll just move right along into the painting. How's that? Without a whole lot of talking. Hand wiggled there for a minute. I am doing this one mostly wet on dry. The paper is mainly dry. Well, what is going on here? Well, we flubbed that one up, so let's see if I can save it somehow. I was trying to make that wiggly leaf, but something happened. I'm not really sure what happened there. Anyway, we can fix it into something else. Happy accidents is what Bob Ross used to call them. Happy accidents. I'll get some lighter yellow as well, lighter green. And you can do this a couple of different ways. You can go that way. Put a little gamboge in there. Or we can come up like this. Boy, the allergies have really got me this year. I literally just, most times, just don't have a voice. Excuse me, I have a voice, but it's very gruff and rough, and I really don't like to use it that way. But we manage, right? And here we go for that. Sometimes I have, wet a leaf first. Now, I am at an area here where this is dry. This little leaf is not. I just wet it. But it's not going to mix with this orange because it's the orange part is dry. So wherever, your paint is dry and you come in with wet, it's not going to go any further than what you're painting because of being dry. It's not going to mix. See? It didn't mix. And put the vein in there if you want. You never have to. See, where are we going next, folks? I wished I'd done the flowers with you, but I think I have. Yes, I have one right here. So let's do that one together. So we've got some greens mixed with some different colors. I like to vary my greens quite often. And I usually just use whatever mixtures I happen to have going on in my palette. I happen to have reds, which ended up with some green in it, so it kind of turned it a little brownish. So what I want to do is go back into my green, but I'm going to go between the two. You got a little bit of the brownish, you got a little bit of the greenish, and that's what you get there, which I always like doing that. All right, these, well, we have blue ones here, we have reddish ones here. I've got these colors here. Actually, I think I'll go into the purple, and we're going to get a nice deep purple going on here. And as you can see, I am leaving a space of highlight within this little flower thing, whatever it is. I really have no idea. But when you're painting, just keep in mind, and I'm saying that now so easily, but I can tell you it took me a long time to get used to doing that. So be patient with yourself. Don't get impatient if you can help it. I mean, you're going to, but, try to walk away if you have to and come back regrouped, as we all go there. It's inevitable. Because you're trying to, sorry, I had to fix my chair. You're trying to do everything so perfectly and right, and you don't, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, phoo, I forgot to leave the white space. So it will take a while, and it's no harm, no foul. So just give yourself time. And then I just kind of took my brush and made some little, you don't have to, I don't have to, but I wanted to, so that's how I did those flower things. And then of course these are trailing off. But you know what, I'm actually going to make this dance right over just like that. You can do anything like that when you're painting. You can veer off from whatever idea, you had going on, whatever colors you had going on. You don't have to stay with that. You can change it, It's totally up to you. You're the painter. So on the ends there is this little group of greenery. And I'm going to swish this down into this pretty color here, down into some of the green areas, like that. That's basically how I did those. Alright, so we've got a flower right here. I almost forgot about. And I'm going to make that a very, I think I'm actually going to use some mauve. This is a pretty color, this mauve. Oops. And I'm going to just come here and kind of add the, this is a big flower. It kind of goes way over to the, I'm actually going to use purple with it as well. I actually meant to wet this a little bit. Whoop. I meant to wet, well, hey, you know what? The happy accidents are happening today. Okay, we'll just let it flow. That's the best thing to do. If you find that you're like, okay, that's not what I meant to do, or what happened there, well, don't panic or anything. Just figure out what you can do with it. See, we've already gone in, and let's see if I can add a little bit of a pinkish well, kind of like a crimson in with this. Oh yeah, that's pretty. And we're coming down around another area of flowers, so I want to be, I think I'll even put some more of that color in. That kind of, well, that was a little too much. Okay. Jeez. Oh well, no problem. Okay, we're gonna come here. And I've got so many things drawn on here that I'm losing, I'm kind of losing my place as I go. Whoops. Well, that's all right. We'll just... So this is a little bit of wet on, a little bit of wet on wet. But I didn't want a lot of wet on wet. I just wanted, I have a lot of water on my brush right there, but that's okay. We've moved it around. It's okay. And I just realized something. Okay, we're gonna extend this. I'm gonna extend this flower, just like that. You know, you can have your drawing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, that would be pretty, you know. So you can change it and do something else all of a sudden, which I just did. I want to get some darker. It would be darker down in here because it's right in between. See how these beautiful round brushes, they work so well, round or just a nice point. Look at that, how well that just goes in there. I love it. I'm taking some color out for a little bit of highlight there. And you know, I'm going to go into my yellow. And I'm going, for some reason, I love yellows. The yellow mixes that you find in flowers. I just think it's so pretty. So here and there, it's going to turn a little different color than yellow because, of course, you're mixing a color here. And I just mixed that, and I didn't want that to be so. Wow. Another little happy accident. We're just having all kinds of fun here today. But you know what? It doesn't matter. That actually does not matter. Just whatever you got going on, whatever happens, whatever goes on, make it work. Just, don't get upset. Don't, think you've ruined it all or anything like that. Just regroup and look at your painting and go, oh, wait a minute, we can do this. And after you paint for a while, that will just happen automatically, as you saw with me there. I didn't have to stop and beat myself up or or anything like that. I just like, oh, well, okay, we'll do this, because it'll just come to you after a while. Not at first, so, don't get discouraged, because it's not the way it works at first. You have to literally give yourself time to learn, like anything else. And I wanted to leave a little section on the top, and I didn't, so I'm going into my acrylic white right on the edge, I should say, because it shows up so well, right on the edge of what I just painted. For a highlight area, I'm putting in that, whoops, that's the wrong color. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's alright, because I wanted it to be darker anyway, so I mistakenly put my brush into the sepia, but that's okay. Sepia is great for mixing colors, and especially if you're trying to do shadow colors. It works great. And we just lost the white, so I'm going to go back into that. And, some people, although I can't imagine there's that many today with all the different techniques going on and changes of things that might, kind of discourage you from using acrylics in a watercolor painting, or even, you know, going back in with something else if you forgot your white. Just don't even listen. It's just, it's just, you don't need to listen. So see, that's still not dark enough down there in the bottom of it. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I just did, add a little sepia to my purple. Get a nice deep dark color. There we go. That's better. That is going, coming up from the bottom of the flower here. This is cold press paper. My favorite's hot press, but I'm running out, so I'll be using some cold press for a while. And then I'll stick in a hot press here and there. But you see how we want that distinction. I had to go get a drink of water. Much better temperatures today, let me tell you. Okay, so let's continue on. So that's that one, and I lost the white again, so I'm going to go, everything will, once it starts drying, it'll just kind of fade a little bit, but there we go, that's good. That's good. Then I have, I have a leaf right here, and you know what? Some people might not want to, I just did this flower, so it's a semi-wet, and somebody might not really want to, because you don't want it to mix. Well, right now, for me, I don't care if it mixes. So I am going to go in here, I wet it a little bit, and you see, isn't it magical the way it works? It's just beautiful. Now, see, it's not wet enough, so if I was to touch the edge of this and it was super wet, well, it would all blend together, but I don't mind because a lot of the times, in fact, that's what I get on my palette is some of the mixes that I use are often the mixes that have happened from colors on my palette. But it didn't mix that much this time because it wasn't wet enough. I've got a fan on, so everything is drying pretty fast here. That's the thing about the summer is, you got your fans on and you're trying to paint, and the paint's drying up, and oh gee. Anyway, I'm just going back with a few little areas that kind of faded from, and you don't have to, I'm just doing that. I think it's coming out nice so far. I'm going to try my watercolor white, see if I can get a little bit. There we go. I just wanted a couple of spots that are a bit more, stand out just a little bit more of the white. Because I'm on white paper, so I mean you have to kind of, think about what you're doing. Okay, so we've got a nice leaf down. Well, oh wait a minute. What I wanted to do, I wanted to get a little darker at the bottom here of this flower. There's a lot of ways to lighten your colors, darken your colors. It just depends on what you want to use. A good thing to do is do swatches, like they say. In other words, like I have a group of it somewhere around here. I just took a afternoon and I just took colors after colors and just mixed them together and made certain other colors, and that was a lot of fun. So then you kind of have, and in doing that also, that helps you to get used to color mixing, what colors mix and what they kind of do, and it will help you to kind of think about what you want for colors. You can make your colors. I rarely do I plan out all the colors first. I don't, because I like to see what will happen as I go along. I like that better. I don't know why, but I do. And it usually comes out very pretty. Like none of this is planned. I might have I have some sort of idea in my head, but I'm not, like I'm only going to have these particular, because I always get more ideas as I paint. So I don't, unless I am specifically doing something where I need specific colors, I don't like to limit myself like that. And plus, I love to use the color mixes that go on my palette. It makes some of the prettiest things. Okay, so got a lovely little flower here, and I want to make it. I don't remember what this color is, but it's up on the pinker side, leaving the little bits of highlight. This is wet on dry, or almost dry on dry. Actually, these paints right here are not wet, hardly at all. Oh, I'm surprised I've got a voice. I've been able to keep talking. I drink tons of water. Everybody says drink tons of water. If I drank any more water, I'd float. But it's just allergies. They just get worse with the years, and from other conditions or other things. I can't take a lot of heavy-duty medicine, so I can only take what I can take. It works the way it works, and that's that. Okay, I don't want this to go too long, and it's getting up there. So this here is the same as this one here. So let's do that one. So we're going to, I mixed a little bit of burnt umber in with my green here. And this is a bit of a thicker stem too, so a little bit of burnt umber, and also it already had some other mixes in it as well, so whatever those are. And with this wonderful tip, we're just making these squiggly. And if you noticed, I just move my brush in my hand. You'll get going and your brush will kind of flatten out in different ways. So just turn it in your hand like this, in your fingers. And that will that will alleviate that. You'll come back to a nice point. And I like this, oh wait a minute, what was that color down? Well, no, okay, I can't do that. So this was like a yellowy, sandy, yellowy. So anyway, what I've got here, I've got some yellow ochre that I'm kind of outlining them with. These are my colors, you know what I mean? You can do whatever colors you like. Look, that kind of changed, so that's all right. See, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. All right, and then I'm going to take a little bit of regular yellow here, and right in like the top tippy parts where the sun would kind of be shining, and I'm going to add that in like that. It's drying up, and I've got it next to a window. Between the fan and the window, everything's drying really quickly. But that's the way it works in the summertime. I had my air conditioning on, but I'm trying to give some break there to it. Been on for days. Now I wanted a different color, and it didn't come out. So there we go. Let's go back in there and mix it up. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, add that in. I love that color. looks like a teal. Look at how these brushes just work. Amazing. And then we're going to do a bit of a gamboge mixed with a few other colors that I've got on my palette. Which is just the way it works on my palette, folks. And I look at it and I go, oh, that'll be pretty, that'll look good on there. Because I love the color, mixing of colors, you know. And I'm going to leave that with the white instead of the yellow on there. I'm going to add in a little bit of sienna at the bottom of those. My goodness, I've got so many. Whoops. Sorry, folks, I dropped my paintbrush went flying off in the direction there. I was starting to say, I've just got so many things drawn out here, but I think what I'm going to do is finish it off camera, because it's going to end up going far too long. So I think we lose you guys when it's too long. So I just finish this one up. I went into some of my purple mix, because at this point it's purple mixed with whatever else is mixing there on my palette. I've got greens and yellows and red, pink, but they make the most beautiful colors, and that's how I wanted that. And then I wanted to go in with a little tiny bit of lighter yellow at the tip here, not losing my white space, which I kind of did. There we go. So I think, folks, being that we're almost, this is 27 minutes, so that's long enough. Maybe I'll do a part 2 here for this one, because in this weather I'm slow. I'm in slow mode in this hot weather. So I think this will be part 1 of this Hello July, and we'll go do a part 2 to finish it up. So have a great rest of your day, folks. Check out my other stuff, please. Put in some comments if you like to. Hope you're trying stuff, and be looking for part 2. Bye for now.